Today, I want to take a closer look at one of the most well-known miracles in the New Testament, the feeding of the 5,000. Many of us learned this story as children. But when we compare the version found in the Bible, in Matthew chapter 14, with the version preserved in the Gospel of the Holy 12, we begin to notice something important, something that speaks to the heart of Jesus' message and how he lived. I would like to read both accounts side by side so that you can hear the difference for yourself. Matthew 14:13-21, New International Version, verse 13. When Jesus heard what had happened, he withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place. Hearing of this, the crowds followed him on foot from the towns. Verse 14. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. Verse 15. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Verse 16. Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." Verse 17. "We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. Verse 18. "Bring them here to me," he said. Verse 19. Then he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. Verse 20. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. Verse 21, the number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Now, let us hear the same story from the Gospel of the Holy 12, Lection 29, verses 1 through 8. The Gospel of the Holy 12, Lection 29, or 1 to 8, verse 1, "And the feast of the Passover drew near, and the apostles gathered to Jesus and told him all things they had done. And he said to them, 'Come, let us rest a while in a quiet place.'" Verse 2, "They departed by ship privately, but the people saw them and ran on foot out of all the cities and came to him." Verse 3, "And Jesus, when he came forth, saw the great crowd and was moved with compassion toward them, for they were as sheep without a shepherd." Verse 4, "And when the day was far spent, the disciples said, 'This is a desert place, and the time is late. Send the people away, that they may buy bread.' Verse 5, "But Jesus said to them, 'Give them to eat.' And they said, 'Shall we go and buy 200 pieces worth of bread?' Verse 6, "He said to them, 'How many loaves have you? Go and see.' And when they knew, they said, 6 loaves and 7 clusters of grapes. And he commanded them to sit down by groups upon the grass." Verse 7, "And he took the 6 loaves and the 7 clusters of grapes, and looked up to heaven, and blessed them, and broke them, and gave them to his disciples to set before the crowd. And they distributed to them all." Verse 8, "And they all ate and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets of the fragments that remained. And the number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, women, and children." Reflection. The question is not whether a miracle occurred. Both accounts describe abundance from scarcity. Both describe compassion. Both describe Jesus providing for the people. The question is what Jesus multiplied. In Matthew, the miracle involves fish. In the Gospel of the Holy 12, it involves grapes. This difference matters because throughout his teachings, Jesus speaks of mercy, compassion, and life. There is a long-standing tradition, preserved among the earliest followers of the Way, that Jesus practiced and taught a diet free from blood. A diet without killing. A diet of peace. If Jesus taught nonviolence, if he spoke of love extending not only to humans but to all living beings, then multiplying fish would contradict the very heart of his message. In addition, the Bible's version does not mention the fish being cooked. But according to Jewish law, fish could not be eaten raw. This detail is left unexplained. However, bread and grapes require no slaughter. They are living foods of peace. They are foods that nourish without taking life. The version in the Gospel of the Holy 12 is fully consistent with compassion, consistent with his teachings, consistent with his example. This is not about argument. This is about curiosity, about looking again, about testing what we have been told. Sometimes a small detail opens the door to a larger truth. If this inspires you to look deeper, then the journey has already begun.